Read a little bit into the book. I've only had a couple of days, but I was reading it the other night, just kind of skimming through it, and came on a few passages, and it's a very emotionally entertaining book, if I could just say it from my own words, and I found it to be very, very well written. And we also picked out, I know, a few passages in the book, and if we could just, to the audience, maybe have you read some of these passages out, and then I have a few questions. Like I said, definitely, and I'm sure as does the audience, about what you have written.
Irena held her hand to her face. I will not cry. I will not cry ever again. She gathered her two younger children, and with her head held high, she walked to the wagon and helped the children in. Martina followed her with her young son, climbed in and sat next to Irena. Irena reached for Martina's hands and held them tightly for comfort. They were on the way to Siberia, and they would not see their loving family again.
Such a gripping passage in the book, and that's a little bit earlier in the book. And in a way, do you think that by writing this, you are in a way sharing these people's story and their ideas, you know what I mean, of the war and everything that they experienced?
Absolutely. That was my intent, to share their stories, what they went through, what they suffered through. It was very, very traumatizing for me also to relive all that. However, that's why I did it.
And we have another passage. We have a couple of them for you to get you a vision of the book.
Hearing the sentence, Sasha's legs turned to liquid. Vision of 10 years in Siberia whirled in his mind. 10 years. And then he glanced at a group of sentenced men and women that were herded to the backfield. They were lined at the edge of the huge pit. On signal from the commissioner, the executioners placed their pistol muzzles at the victims' necks. Shoot, he ordered. Bullets smashed their way out of the foreheads of the victims. The lifeless bodies toppled softly into the ditch, and any bodies still moving were stabbed with a bayonet.
Once again, such a powerful picture, you know what I mean, that you paint in the book for our audience of what happened. This is actually based on true events that you had got to experience.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask, as I kept reading through the book, Sasha kept coming up. Who does Sasha represent?
Sasha was a very determined man, a strong man in faith of his God and the love of his family. And nothing was going to keep him away from his family. Determination, strength, durability, and the desire to be free.
And like you have mentioned, being sentenced to Siberia for a countless amount of years, and then having to witness the horror, it definitely took a lot of guts and you know, courage to be able to continue. And those are just some of the gripping parts of the book. To, you know, like I said, you read and it definitely catches your emotions, you know, right where they are. But the book also, you know, if I could explain it, it's a little bit more of a action-packed love story that
sure is,
you
yes.
definitely get out of the book. And nothing struck me more than, I know a lot of people, I came from the former Soviet Union, to the fact that where you wrote about in the book of Mr. and Miss Petrosevich when they became citizens of the United States.
Yes.
And just their emotions. I know it's a longer passage, and maybe we won't get into the full of it, but you know, at one point, you know, once the agent tells them, congratulations, you are now citizens, they're kind of in awe, you know, not knowing, is this true, is this real? And then after that, obviously, the happiness sits in, and they go into what was that? I don't know if you got to experience that, or what were your emotions when you finally came to the United States and realized maybe some of those freedoms and that you left?
Well, it was a gift. It was a gift to come here, and the realization of being free, of being able to walk on the street and not be afraid of a policeman. All these things were so new to us, and however, my father, it took him several years to shake off that fear when he saw a policeman or a soldier, or it took him a while. But then when we became citizens, and especially Sasha and Anya, they were just so thrilled. And basically because they had tried for their citizenship many times, and they didn't pass because of the lack of knowing the language. And at this particular time they went, and the American consulate felt sorry for them and gave them the citizenship anyway. So I don't think that it could happen now, but in 1950s it did happen.
And I think there was a passage in the book too, right before where you're given the idea of the consulate's mindset. And it says, if there's anybody more deserving, I think these people are. And it shows in their ecstatic the way they accept it. Where Sasha, in his own words, proclaims, Anya, now we are really part of the country where we have freedom. Our children and grandchildren will have freedom and education. And I think that's for any parents who, especially Sasha, as you heard earlier in the passage, being in Siberian camps, having to deal with that. Now, this is all based on your family story?
My family's life, yes.
And every character in its own way represents somebody from that passage. And another ripping one, if we can pull it out of the book, and it's I think it's the excitement of realizing, I guess, one's dreams when you thought things were lost, is the last one that we have here. And if you could read it to him, because I think it's very great to know that this is a true story, and you put it in the book. Good things do happen to good people.
Yeah. Filled with emotion, he opened his arms to his mother. Anya stared at him, drinking in the vision of him as if he may disappear. He looked deep into her blue eyes, so much like his own. Mamushka, Maya Mamushka. He enfolded his mother in his arms and held her, melting away 45 years of loneliness.
And once again, what does that passage mean? Who does that refer to, in a sense? And
that was the oldest son, Nikolai, who was lost to the family for 45 years. He was taken away while in the German labor camp by the Germans, and could never find him again. And when came to America, found him through Red Cross, and when Glasnost happened in 1988, we were able to see him again. So you can imagine seeing your son when he's only 16, and next time you see him, he's 60. It was very emotional, very, very emotional.
And once again, I kind of printed these out, but in order for you to get the realization of the book, you really got to read it, because your own images, you paint your own picture, and everybody has it, but it's definitely touching, and what did Sasha do to get taken away? If we can just kind of get into, and we don't want to get too much into that, but
yeah, Sasha helped a Polish priest across the border into Poland. At that particular time, they prosecuted the Polish priests, the Jewish people, and anyone that didn't want to belong to the Communist Party or the Partisan Party. They were taken away and deported or killed. And so Sasha helped the Polish priest to escape, and someone reported him, and that's why he was sent to prison.
And if another question around the book, what would you like the reader to get from reading the book? If there's anything that maybe they can learn and, you know, take out.
What I really try to relay to the reader is the importance of family love, importance of family unity, and most of all, faith in God. Without that, Sasha and Anya would have never made it. They truly depended on that.
That's great. And just for our guests, where could they obtain the book besides the copy that we're going to be giving out here today on the show? If somebody wants to get a copy, like myself and anybody else, and I definitely, I already acquired a copy, thanks to Janina here. Where can they go?
You can go to the Amazon.com, readedwards.com, that's the publishing company, or you can inquire at Barnes & Noble.
Great. And we have a Barnes & Noble locally in the area. All right, and now without any further ado, we are going to, we do here at the Crepes Tea House support a charity. All right, it's the Orphan Foundation. All right, and what we do is just, this all goes to a local orphanage. As you have seen here, we have a little, they donated us a nice little box, and we definitely want to support them, just because there's a lot of, you know, kids out there that definitely need help, you know, and these donations for the book will go to this orphanage and support this cause.
It's not an orphanage, just to correct you. What we do is we give grants to folks that are taking children from orphanages or foster care into their homes. So we're all volunteers, so all the money that goes to the foundation helps a kid get out of an orphanage or out of a group home, our politically correct name in the United States.
Now, we're going to shift our focus from the book to a little bit of your other story. And, you know, first talking with you, very interesting woman, a lot going on. Once again, owned
Yes,
a beauty shop here.
I owned a beauty salon here in Westfield, but that was many years ago. And then I decided to move to a warmer climate, and I moved to Hawaii. And I lived in Hawaii for 19 years. I worked for the Hyatt Regency Hotel Waikiki, which was very tough. Oh, I tell you.
Oh, let me tell you how tough. How tough was it?
It was very tough. I met all these celebrities.
I know.
Got to hug Tom Selleck.
Handsome man.
Oh, that's
yeah, he was.
He's currently in a series right now,
Yes,
Blue Streak, I think it's called.
Yeah, I knew him when he first came to Hawaii before he started filming Magnum P.I. And once he became famous, I said, gosh, I should have done that.
That's one that got away, right?
One got away.
Now, also, if we can not get away from the Magnum P.I., you did a little bit more than just meet him on the set of Magnum P.I.
Yes, I did play a very small part in one of his segments.
So that's, you know, among other things.
Yeah, this is way back. Yeah.
Oh.
And then numerous other stars that frequented the Hyatt Regency Hotel and came to visit and spend time with us. Tony Curtis, Tom Jones, Eric Estrada. Tom Jones could have had me, but you know.
Found his wife right before you.